What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? All right, we're back for a brand new. I'm just gonna take my mic off real quick. Um, just gonna want to make sure that everything works real quick, and I can go start talking. There's latency on my laptop. That's why I do this. I just try and make sure that everything works and transitions well. Let's see. All right, everything works. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm sorry. There's a bug in my room. I don't know why. It's winter. I don't understand, but it's all right. I'm gonna have some allergies though because that's what happens. I followed a tutorial for Minecraft and I got as far as this. Nice stuff, right? We got the test mod, the fabric mod, everything like that, so it works. Oh. Is that the error? Wait a minute. There's no way. Oh yeah, this needs to hold on. I think I just about fixed something. Hold on, we need to go to settings and then we need to go to Gradle. While we reload everything. Please. If that's the case, oh my god. No. Probably isn't.
Press enter to enable the narrator.
What? Oh my god. Oh my god. Yo. Oh my god. Oh my god. You know how insane this got me. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Yo. Hold on. Hold on. Yo. Oh. Yo. Oh my goodness. I think I'm gonna cry, bro. I was like, I scoured through the internet. This took hours. There was like 7 or 8 errors. I was like, bruh, what's going on? And all I had to do was look at the thing that was highlighted in red. Okay, look. Ideal J, bro. Yo. Oh my god. All right, we don't gotta freak out too much. Okay, that was crazy. I was like, do I gotta install everything back again in different versions? How long is this gonna take? You know, I still gotta do econ. I still gotta do a whole bunch because I'm a college student, yo. I'm a college student. But now it works. Actually, I'm gonna mute this. I'm gonna crank that down. I like that music, but it's whatever. It ran, it works, everything functions as it's supposed to. All right, even if we went to options, I think if we went to fabric mods, but I don't, bruh, it's loading everything. How do I see the mods that I have? Is it that? I don't think so. It's whatever. It's cool. It's whatever. Done. Anyway, we did it. Oh, this was causing me way too much pain. There was so much that I couldn't follow in this, and I was so frustrated, but it finally worked. Oh my gosh. I was really mad. All right, I was really mad about this whole thing. So it's whatever. And earlier, like, everything was happening at once, but hey, I was aggravated. But now me and my chair can figure this out. This bug is gonna kill me though, but we're gonna follow the tutorial, I guess, for the rest of this. I might put this on private or something like that, but for right now, I'm following the tutorial, which means I can't actually look at chat. It's kind of sad, but it's okay. We're actually like modding. This is what the screen is gonna look like from now on, guys. It's gonna be our little workspace and everything like that. Turns out I don't need to display the video on this screen that I'm recording, but on the other screen. And I don't know about fair use and all that, but I feel like that's probably going to be fine. But this is modding by Calpin Joe. This is the fabric modding tutorial he has for 1.20. It's the only one out there. I mean, is it really that big to say? I mean, if I wanted to look for fabric modding for 1.20.1, you know, because that's the version actually that the Reaching for the Stars mod is based off of, which is good because he also uses the exact version 1.20.1. It works with the other versions, I'm sure, but this one specifically is pretty nice. So either way, we got it. So let's do it. Let's go.
Real tab over here, expand tasks.
Yeah, and see, he says expanded tasks, expands to fabric and run client, and it just threw a whole bunch of these little errors and stuff like that. But it didn't actually work because I didn't name the tutorial mod client. It was actually test mod client, which I should have done. This is tutorial mod. Wait, why is this package net tutorial mod? It doesn't matter. It highlights it in red. I don't care. It's cool. It's all right. But we're gonna go ahead and just follow this tutorial because it says that you can program in 1.20.1. Let's go for it though.
And fabric, and then in the run client over here, we want to double click on this, and then it's going to start compiling Java, and it's going to start Minecraft in just a moment. There you go. Minecraft is already starting.
Yeah, and I was supposed to have an exception, but I have a whole bunch of warnings instead. So he has an error. I have 6 warnings. It says enable native access equals all unnamed to avoid a warning for callers in this module. Restricted methods will be blocked in a future release unless native access is enabled. Honestly, I've got no idea what that means, but one thing I learned from Java is that if the program isn't broke, don't fix it. I mean, come on, let's be for real.
And there we go.
Enter to enable the narrator.
All right, we're immediately going to just going to decrease the sound a little bit. What you will find is you will get this error right here. The Minecraft client exception status 401. This is an absolutely normal error. You will always get this when you're launching Minecraft in dev environment here in CRG. So you can ignore this every time you run the client. You will always get this, and you can ignore this. You're gonna quit out of the game, and what we're actually going to do is we're going to quit out of the game, and then what? Restart IntelliJ once. So you're basically just going to close it and then reopen it. And you might ask yourself, why would we do this? Well, because now we actually also have access to the run configurations from Fabric over here, and they are just a little.
Oh. Wait, that wasn't supposed to happen. Shit. Oh. Whoops. My fault. Hold on. Hold on, what does that mean?
Bit better, so you basically always want to use those. So instead of choosing the run client right here, we want to choose the Minecraft client, and if we now hit this run button, the same thing was going to start. Basically, Minecraft is going to start.
Oh, if I hit the
client, and if we now hit this run button, the same thing was going to start. Basically, Minecraft is going to start in just a moment. However, this also does some additional things, and that's why basically why we want to choose this. So as it's doing stuff, once again, you will get the failed authentication error right here. However, once again, Minecraft has started, absolutely no issues. And every time.
Okay. Yes. Oh my gosh. Everything's working just as it's supposed to.
Once again, you can just go to the run button over here and click that, and then the Minecraft client is going to start. What I highly recommend you do is you take the project, how it is in this current state, and you actually copy it and make a backup of this, because in theory, this is the case that every time you want to make a new mod, you would have to go through each of those steps again, which of course can be quite annoying if you have a lot of ideas for a lot of mods. And then lastly, this is a part which is optional, but I still highly recommend it, and that is making a GitHub repository. So we're going to upload this particular project to a GitHub repository. This way we can have a version control system, meaning that if we change something and then maybe the mod breaks, we can then revert to a earlier version. And this also allows us to share our project with other people. For example, you might join the Discord server and you have an issue, and you're going to say, hey, how can I fix this? If you have a GitHub repository and you're going to share that GitHub repository with us, because that's going to allow us to help you way quicker, because having the entire project in front of us is going to make diagnosing any issue way easier. So for this, of course, you need a GitHub account. Now, GitHub is a absolutely reputable site. It's used by, I mean, millions of developers, both professional and personal. I highly recommend you just make an account, and then we can proceed from there. And what you're going to do is you're going to...
I can do this on my business account, actually. I feel like I either have a GitHub account or I need to make one, but I mean, I've coded with Unity for a long time. I should probably have one. If I don't, that would be quite surprising. Unity doesn't need it. I mean, they already have their own version control system with the cloud, but I feel like I would have had GitHub at some point. Change is constant. GitHub keeps you ahead. All right, we're gonna sign in with our account, and actually I'm gonna check my passwords on my phone real quick to see if I have something. I do have GitHub. I knew it. Okay, so then I wonder what's on this account, because I haven't used it in so long. I have a long password for this. I have long passwords for everything on this business account, and I mean, it's good. Why is that thing flying away? Okay, that should be the password. And they sent me an email on my account, which I can access with my phone. That's nice. There we go. And that's Chinese. Okay, not. Let's go on my profile. I don't have any repos. Okay. This bug is gonna bother me. Did I get it? Please tell me I got it. Oh, no, I didn't get it. It just flew into my finger. Yo, this bug. All right. Okay, so I have a repo right here. Not the game, the GitHub repository.
Click the VCS button over here, and you're going to click the share project on GitHub. This is going to be the name of my repository here, and I'm going to...
My thing broken? Hello?
Make an account, and then we can proceed from there. And what you're going to do is you're going to click the VCS.
I might need to reload this. Where am I at? 15, 19 on this video. Okay.
All right, let's start the setup here for Minecraft modding in Fabric for Minecraft 1.
Yo, my thing is lagging mad right now.
Of course, you need a GitHub
Is my
account.
thing overheating? I think it is. I think it is. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. My room is hot. Let me turn off my heater then. I feel like that might be my issue. It's just breaking. It's freaking out right now.
Now, GitHub is a absolutely reputable site. It's used by, I mean, millions of developers, both professional and personal. I highly recommend you just make an account and then we can proceed from there. And what you're going to do is you're going to click the VC.
Hopefully this works. I'm actually just gonna to pair my account correctly, I'm going to go ahead and turn my stream to back soon so I don't like share any personal information on accident. That would be pretty bad. So be right back. All right, yo, we're back. Part 2. Yeah, I'm actually quite motivated and excited for this project now because it actually works. All right, what's up, guys? Part 2. Let me blow my nose real quick, then we're gonna get back straight into it. What we did was pretty much said, yo, we're gonna use VCS, version control integration. I think that's what, oh, that's what that says. I don't know what VCS actually means. We share product on GitHub, and I hit share on this, and it's like, oh, it's already there. So we're gonna go check my GitHub real quick and then come back and see what is up. I want to log into GitHub and it's right there. Yes, sir. All right, we have just done it. All right. How do I use GitHub? What is this? Okay, either way, it's cool. It's dope. We're just gonna watch the video for the rest then, and then we're gonna be good.
This button over here, and you're going to click the share project on GitHub. This is going to be the name of my repository here, and I'm going to choose to make this private. If you want to use this GitHub repository for help, for example, on Discord servers to share, then of course you need to make this non-private, right? You need to make this public. Otherwise, you will have to do this on GitHub, and that's just an extra step that you don't need. I'm going to make this private because this is not going to be the final GitHub repository. That's something else entirely. right? And now you can't share this by anything, but what you can do is you can add an account. I'm going to log in via GitHub right here. This will open a new window in your browser. And if you're logged into GitHub in that browser, you can just click the authorize in GitHub. And I've been successfully authorized. If I now return to IntelliJ, you can see github.com/CarbonJoe, which is exactly the account I wanted to share this with. I'm going to hit share. You can see a bunch of things turned red. That's totally normal. We're going to hit add. And then at the bottom right corner, once this has been done, successfully shared project on GitHub. If I click on this, you can see github.com/CarbonJoe/fab.
This doesn't work though. That's not what happened. I didn't see that. I don't understand. It just says that the repository exists. And I can't access it through this tab because it's my personal tab. Okay, so then if we go into repos, then how about I remove it? Can I delete it? Yeah, I want to delete this repository. I've read and understand. Well, yeah, of course, it won't change my billing plan. Oh, I gotta. Yeah. All right, now I can go into here. Share project on GitHub. We'll make it public, actually. It'll be nice. And now I can share everything. Initial commit. Author identity unknown. Please tell me who you are. What? Where there's Git right there. If I reload the page, now we have something. What if I hit, hold on, what does this even mean? What is commit, push, update project, pull, fetch? What is this? Hold on. We just need to work. We just need to look at this video again.
Tutorial 120x. Awesome. If I now make any changes, so for example, let's remove the logger over here. The file where I made those changes is going to turn blue. And to make those changes and to upload those changes, I'm going to go to the commit tab on the left here. I'm going to say yes to those changes. This is going to be a very important change. And I'm going to commit this. And there we go. Sometimes you also get the commits that contain warnings. That's totally normal. Minecraft modding in this case is just a complete disaster with the amount of warning. Change. And I'm going to commit this. And there we go. Sometimes you also get the...
The hell? Get a username. Do I need to? What? Be right back. Hold on. Oh my goodness. All right. This is so stupid. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. And then if I reload my GitHub, it's going to show very important change. Yes. Extremely important change. Yo. All right, we are so locked in, boys. Let's go.
Awesome. And that's basically it with the setup.
And that's it. That's it for the first tutorial. We just did the first tutorial, and now we finally get into the modding. And I thought like I had everything going on wrong and like a whole sorts of different things, but it just turns out all I had going on was just a stupid name change in a tutorial mod client. It thus demonstrates to all the viewers out there that Java is not for the weak, and also that patience is a virtue. Because guys, this is still a very small step, but it's going to be one of many that I have to take, and some of these steps are not going to lead to the most comfortable of situations. Sometimes we might get our legs stuck. Sometimes we might fall off the bridge entirely. We might have to climb all the way back up and back on the bridge, which would suck. Sometimes that step might be fatal, and then we start back at square one. I don't know. All just depends. Who knows? Anyway, I'm not being too philosophical right now because I really have to use the bathroom, and the bathroom that we have at our house is taken. Yep, I live in one of those houses, one bathroom. Y'all live in luxury while I live in the rocks, in the sticks, in the projects, in the hood. No, not the hood. I don't live in the hood. I live in the country, so it's cool. We're getting on the second tutorial. I'm actually just going to do this on stream so that I can be fascinated and amazed.
Let's add a custom item to Minecraft. Minecraft modding courses with close to 100 topics ranging from custom tools and armor to custom block entities all the way to custom mobs linked in the description below. Alright, we find ourselves back in IntelliJ once more, and in this tutorial we're going to be adding a custom item to our fab.
Okay. First things first, we actually have to go into YouTube and follow this tutorial on my first computer. So we're gonna go fabric modding tutorial 1.20.1.
Alright.
Alright, hold on.
Let's add a custom item to my.
So what we're going to have is actually this asset zip pack. And we're just gonna get item textures right here, and then we can just continue on like nothing happened. We also might want to hit quit on the game. And we hit stop on that, then we're good. Stuff like that.
Tutorial mod over here for 120, and this is
And then
going to
get
be
that
very
4K.
interesting indeed. So for this, first things first, in the tutorial mod package, we're going to right click new package called item. Then inside there, we're going to right click new Java class.
Excuse me. Wait, where's my window? There we go. I was like, what? Excuse me. Where are you? All right, hold on. Now we can actually like minimize Gradle as well. No, it's not. It's not a typo. That ain't no typo. Hold on. We also need Gradle to be minimized just a little bit. Just like that. Nice. Now we can minimize that, and we have a pretty good window. As for the project, we were supposed to create inside of our tutorial mod right before mixing. We're supposed to get a new package, I think is what it said.
New
Package, and then
called item. And then inside there, we're going to right click new Java class called the mod items class. Now, when you create this and you make a GitHub repository, you will get this add to file over here. You can simply add it, the file will turn green, and everything is going to be fine. Now, the mod item.
yay. This guy goes fast.
is going to be sort of a helper class.
It's going to be a helper class. Great, great, great. I know what that means.
Which is going to register all of our items so that Minecraft actually knows that we have added items. To do this, we're first of all going to make a register mod items method. This is going to be a public static void register mod items, no parameters needed. And inside of the actual method, in the actual method, we're going to put in tutorial mod. You can see when it actually starts suggesting this to.
Whoa. Register mod items. The thing about this is like when you have something like this, oh shoot, wrong thing. When you have something that's going on like this, like register mod items, you have public static void, and then when you have like a main method like this, you have there's something here that was public static void mainstream args, like when you create a class out of Java just normally. Like, it's ridiculous how much there is. Just hate it. So many other programming languages are so much easier to use. Java is just not one of those, and you spend like 3 times the amount of time on this stupid programming language to do what, right? But it's fine. So we got tutorial mod. No, it's actually test mod. I might need to rename this to tutorial mod. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think it's Shift F6. Refactor. It's not actually working. Yes. Tutorial mod refactor. Is this Control S? Does this work or does this not work? Did I just break it? I think I just broke it. This is tutorial mod client. Tutorial mod. Tutorial mod. So instead of renaming this, it's just made. Is there a way to rename? There's nothing. It doesn't work. I did that already. How am I gonna figure this out? How about we just exit and then do that? No, we don't. And you can't rename this one, but you can rename that one. Why? This whole time. So I renamed this one test mod, right? Tutorial mod just goes away. Now if I went away from this, right? Went to IntelliJ again, right? Now everything's nice and dandy. Everything looks good. Everything is fine. But now, if I want to do shift, right? Class test mod is never used. It's not. So if I control F6 this, right? And I want to do this to tutorial mod data generator and then F6, I can refactor it and it doesn't work. It doesn't even work. It doesn't work. Okay. So it's done. And see, now that is done. Now, if I wanted to go into to fabricmod.json, if I want to go into tutorial mod, right? Shift F6, and then we go into tutorial mod, then Shift F6 is going to refactor. And we just got to change that into tutorial. Refactor. And now there's issues. It's just, maybe I need to reinstall this thing again. I'm renaming files. Why? Why? Why is this happening? Everything works here. Everything works here. Nothing works here. But you can rename this. You can delete this. But you can't rename this. You cannot rename this. Yep, that's way too far. But you can make a directory inside of this one to make that one. Why? I don't know. And then the moment I go and move it back, it's gone. It's gone. It just disappeared. Everything's gone. Same thing with this one. If I went over here, test, gone. It's just gone. And it doesn't even care if this is wrong. Now this is wrong. I need to change it back. Why? I don't know. I don't. The thing is that we have tutorial mod. I made a lapse in my judgment when I do this, when I do test mod, when I do this test mod. Now it's complete. I guess. We're just gonna exit. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go into File Explorer. Be right back. know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, we're gonna go back to this. On directory RC main Java. Oh my gosh, is this safe? Is this safe? Yeah, it's safe. Okay. Test fabric src main Java net me tutorial mod, right? If I want to do this one, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna exit. It's gonna fuck everything up. Okay, but you know what? Doesn't matter, because look, now we just renamed files, my boy. I'm a genius. I'm a goddamn genius. And it did nothing. It did nothing. Oh my god. Wait a minute. I don't even think it worked. No. Why is it not? Why? What happened? It's not showing anything. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Nope, it just decided to just not work. You know, if I run into this later and I can't, I need to rename something because I know. There we go. Oh my gosh. Please, you are fine. You are. What's wrong with you? Now this one works. That's great. That's pretty great. I'm not gonna lie. Tutorial mod client. What the hell? Oh. Why is it red? What does red mean? Does that mean there's issues? Does that mean there's problems? I'm just gonna run it. I'm gonna see. Well, boys, we're gonna see if this works. If it doesn't work, then I mean, there's gonna be like 50 different issues. But if it's red, I don't. So it doesn't matter if these have bad colors. Great, great. Yo, okay, I didn't even need to realize that. Okay, then we'll just push. We'll push the mod and master. Now I need to look this up. What is an unversioned file? Did that fix it? Okay, don't tell me. Don't tell me I'm a genius. All right, you don't gotta tell me anything. I'm a genius. Oh my god. Yo, I am giga brain, dude. Yo. I am, oh my god, I'm intelligent. So if I go into SRC main, right? Oh my god. Yo. Yo. Okay, hold on. We need to play Chester Stone. we need we need to play Chester Stone. Hold on. We got this. Yo. YouTube.com. Hold on. Chester Stone. Yo, this is literally how I'm feeling right now. We're gonna save that, by the way. The most controversial. Hold on, we're gonna watch that in a second. Stuff nobody teaches you. Don't care. We'll just save that later. I want to watch Chester Stone. Oh my God, 4 quarters.
Chester Stone.
See, this is how I'm feeling. Yeah, 4 quarters.
4 quarters.
I'm the richest brother in the world. I can't finish that part.
On August 28, 2024, Hypixel released one of its biggest updates to Bed Wars, the pre-game name obfuscation update.
Wait, I'm actually kind of
The goal was
interested
to
now.
ensure that players of all skill levels can enjoy the game on a more level playing field, claiming that Q dodging and sniping, facilitated by player overlays and third-party programs, have long been issues in the Bed Wars community. This update was widely controversial and received both positive and negative feedback from the community. Simply put, the update is far from perfect.
No one cares. Okay.
Plus, when you have one of those things selected over here in the suggest,
In the mod items. Okay. Now we just got done with our genius, so then see, tutorial mod now shows up. We did that.
you hit the tab key, it will autocomplete the word, and it will also add the import over here. You can then continue dot logger this time. So I put in a dot, and then I can choose logger here, and I once again hit the tab key to
Right.
autocomplete this. And call the info method once again, tap to autocomplete, and then here I'm going to say registering mod items for, and we're registering them for tutorial mod.mod ID. That's just a simple output here, and it's not strictly necessary. However, I do like to add this, and the register mod items method will now be called.
That took forever to pause. Oh.
Inside of the tutorial mod class. So we're going
Right.
to reopen this, and in the onInitialize method right here, we're going to say mod items dot register mod items. You can see once again it suggests this to us, hitting the tab key to call this. Returning to the mod.
So then. Nice.
Items class, we will need another helper method. We will need a helper method to actually register the items. And this is going to be a private static item over here from netMicroItem. Once again, tap to autocomplete and it will import the correct class. We're going to call this the register item method. It will take 2 parameters, a string name parameter, as well as an item parameter.
Hold on, which one was it again? There's multiple different types of items.
netMicroItem. Once again, tap to autocomplete and it will import the correct class. We're going to call this the register item method. It will take 2 parameters, a string name parameter, as well as an item parameter called item. This particular method.
I'm an idiot. Register item with string name and item.
will return registry, making sure this is extremely important, pay close attention, to choose net Minecraft registry. You do not want to choose Java RMI registry, then you will run into an issue. You want to choose net Minecraft registry. So double check if you get an error over here, you can check at the top here in the imports that it is net Minecraft registry.
Great.
If this is not the registry class you've imported, then you have imported the wrong class. You have to delete the import and import the correct class. Then once again, registry.register, we're going to pass in registries.item, tab to autocomplete, and then a comma, and then a new identifier.
What?
First parameter of which is going to be tutorial mod ID, and then the second parameter is going to be the name. And then after the first closing parentheses, we're going to do a comma and then put in the item, and there you go. If at any point in this you might get an issue over here, you can always take a look at the GitHub repository linked in the description.
Okay, hold on. I am experiencing allergies galore, and I need to blow my nose again, or else I'm gonna sneeze, and that's not gonna be fun. I broke the tissue. Great. Hold on. Great. I'm gonna go through a 20-minute video in an hour, but it's okay because I'm having fun. Oh, there we go.
Below where all of this code is available, and you can compare with your own code. So if you have any typos anywhere, you basically are going to find it right there. But that is the register item method, and we can now start registering our items. To add our new items, what we're going to do is we're going to make a public static final.
Hold on. Wow. What? You got all this tissue stuff out here. Public static final.
Item. I'm going to call this the Ruby, or uppercase in this case. I'm going to call the register item method, first parameter, which is going to be a string. And we see this name over here, right? This generates automatically the name colon. You don't have to type this out. If you were to type this out, look how this looks completely different than this. I've seen this multiple times. This is a thing that IntelliJ adds. Don't type that out. Now in this string, we're going to give it a name. Now this is going to be Ruby. This is the same rule that the mod ID follows, so it all has to be lowercase. It can't be uppercase. Can't contain any spaces. Then as a second parameter, we're going to make a new item from netmicro item over here. Once again, tab to autocomplete. And inside of it, we're going to make a new fabric item settings. Once again, it suggests this to us. We're going to autocomplete this, and we're going to end the line with a semicolon. And with this, we have successfully added an item to Minecraft. Now, of course, it doesn't have a name, and it doesn't have a texture, and it's not even added into any creative mode tab. Now, look.
Okay, now we're gonna figure that out. All right, we are going to figure that out. So what we did here was actually create something called a variable. I think that's what this is, but we'll just have to see.
We can fix this. Let's first of all tackle the creative mode tab.
Oh, great. Hold on. The creative mode tab.
For this, we're going to make a new private static void. We'll call this the add items to ingredient tab item group, and this will take in a fabric item group entries.
I hate when people are able to type so fast.
Over here, I'm going to call this entries. And inside of it, we're going to say entries.add, and then just passing in Ruby. And then inside of the register mod items method, we're just going to call item group events, modify entries event.
This is the
item groups dot ingredients dot register, and then mod items, and you can see it already suggests to us add items to ingredient tab item group. That's exactly right. I guess we can omit the tab here because item group basically is a good name. So this is going to be the add items to ingredient item group. Awesome. Any other items would be added here in this add items to ingredient item group method, and they would also be added to the ingredients tab. If you want to add something to another tab, you would just add a new method. You would call this modifies event again with a different item group from vanilla here. That's also quite important. This is the way to add items to vanilla item groups. We're going to see in just a moment, after we've added the item, how you can also add a custom item group. But more on that later. But first, we somehow have to give our Ruby a name as well as a texture. How do we do this? Well, we're going to navigate to the resources assets tutorial mod folder, and we're going to right click and make a new directory. This is going to be called lang. Spelled L-A-N-G in the tutorial mod folder once again. We're going to make a new directory called models. Very important that this is models plural. And once again, in the tutorial mod folder, right click new directory called textures. Then in the model.
What? No.
Folder, we're going to right click new directory called item, singular this time, and similar to the textures, right click new directory called item. This is the full assets folder directory that we're going to need, so double check that this is exactly spelled correctly for you as well. So this is going to be assets, your mod ID, lang, and then we have models. Inside of the models folder, we have an item folder, and then a textures folder in which we have an item folder.
Wait a minute. That's
with the lang folder, this is needed for the translation files, and inside of it we're going to right click new file called en_us.json. So that's the exact name of this file, and this is going to, well, basically called en underscore translation files, and inside of it we're going to right click, new file called en underscore us.json. So that's the exact name of this file, and this is going to, well, basically provide translations from keys to English. This needs two curly brackets here, and then we need to define the key. The key is going to be keys to English. This needs two curly brackets here, and then we need to define the key. The key is going to be item dot tutorial mod dot Ruby, and then we want a colon and then the name displayed in the game. How does this get created? Well, we have just created an item, right? We think back, this is an item. So we've registered an item with the name Ruby. This is indeed correct. And it is under the tutorial mod ID. And that's how the key over here basically gets created. Those are all separated by a dot. And then here, this is the actual name displayed in the game. And this can include any separated by a dot, and then here, this is the actual name displayed in the game, and this can include any type of character. This can include spaces, it can include numbers, or whatever you want, even Cyrillic characters. This is basically a free-for-all. And our item actually has a name, but it doesn't have a text yet. And this can include any type.
Okay.
So how are we going to give it a texture? We'll do this via an item model JSON file. So in the models item folder, we're going to right click, new file called ruby.json. And it's extremely important that the name of this file matches the name given to the item. So once again, this name right here, Ruby, has to match exactly this name. And then the file has to end with .json. Now this file, I'm going to type this out, and then I'm going to explain the contents. So we're going to have a parent over here. The parent is going to be item/generated, and we're going to have textures defined. Those textures are going to be layer 0 colon tutorial mod colon item/Ruby.
Okay. This guy is extremely fast.
Now you might say to yourself, what the frick is going on here? What is all of this? No worries at all. So we can see the parent over here, item generated, basically just means that this is how we are going to display this particular item in your hand and in the inventory. So this item generated is the normal way that an item gets displayed. You've probably seen this 1,000 times. When you have a diamond, for example, in your hand, the 2D texture gets extruded a little bit in 3D space, and that is basically what's going to happen with our custom Ruby here as well. And then we have to define a texture over here, and we're defining the texture called Ruby, and we're going to search for it in the textures folder. So this is going to be this folder right here, under the tutorial mod ID. So there's going to be tutorial mod, textures, and then we're going to look in an item folder, and we're going to look for the ruby.png. And that's how basically the contents of a normal item model JSON file are constituted. It's actually very straightforward once you know each individual element. And what's very important is that the code as well as the JSON files are all included in the GitHub repository. So if something doesn't work, your texture doesn't work, simply compare your JSON file to this JSON file and see if there's any discrepancies. It has to be exactly like this. It can't be parent with an uppercase P, that doesn't work. It can't be parents. It can't be items with an uppercase I. I've seen all of these things. Make sure that this is exactly written correctly. It has to be layer 0 with a lowercase l, textures with an S. All of this has to be exactly right. And then we can add the texture. This is also going to be available to you. And as you can see, this is the ruby.png instead of the item texture.
Okay.
folder in the tutorial mod folder. Exactly what we've defined here in the item model JSON file. And with this, we're actually ready to go into the game for the first time and see our custom Ruby in action. All right, fine.
Okay, so first off, we're going to Minecraft client and then hit run. Yes, let's go. Everything seems like it's working fine. Nice.
This is back in Minecraft, and let's just take a look in the ingredients tab at the very bottom. We should find, there it is, our Ruby has been successfully added to the game, and it looks freaking awesome. And well, that is
We just did that.
one item, but one is none, so let's add a second one. Basically, sometimes quite a few people are confused on how you add a second item, and the thing is, like, it's you just add a second item here. You don't have to make another more items class or anything like that. That would be crazy. You just say public static final item, and this is going to be a raw underscore Ruby, and this is going to be equal to the register item method once again. We're going to call this the raw underscore Ruby, and this will be equal to a new item with new fabric item settings, and bam, second item added. Now, once again, the same issue befalls our raw Ruby. It is not added to an item group yet. So for this, we can click here, press Control D to duplicate this, and then the raw Ruby over here. Then we can go into the in_us JSON file. We can do the same thing. Just click on this line, press Control D, and then add a comma over here in between. We're going to change this to the raw Ruby, and similar here, raw Ruby. For the display name. For the item model, you're going to take the item model and you're going to drag it into the same folder while holding Control. This will duplicate the file, and we can then and you're going to drag it into the same folder while holding Control. This will duplicate the file, and we can then rename this. We're going to call this raw underscore Ruby. I'm going to hit OK. And then the texture that it references is also going to be raw underscore Ruby. We then just have to copy over the texture over here. This is, of course, also going to be available to you, and done. That is big. Basically a second item added pretty much fairly quickly, and as you add more items, you're going to get used to this, and it's going to become a breeze. But we're not quite finished with this just yet, because we also want to add a custom item group. So in the item package, once again, we're going to right click, new Java class. I'm going to call this the mod. Want to add a custom item group. So in the item package, once again, we're going to right click, new Java class. I'm going to call this the mod item groups over here. This will have a public static void register item groups method, which will call tutorialmod.logger.info, and this can be registering item groups for tutorial mod.modid, and let's immediately call this. We're going to call this at the very top over here, so there's going to be the tutorial mod.modid, and let's immediately call this. We're going to call this at the very top over here, so there's going to be the mod item groups that register item groups. Awesome.
Wait, no. There we go.
Let's add a custom item to Minecraft. Call this raw_ruby. I'm going to hit OK, and then the texture that it references is a new identifier, passing in first of all tutorial mod.mod net Minecraft item right here. Item groups static void register item groups method, which will call tutorial mod.logger.info, and this is going to be registering item groups for tutorial mod.modid, and let's immediately call this. We're going to call this at the very top over here, so there's going to be the mod item groups that register item groups. Awesome. And then to add the item group, we just want to say public static final item group from net Minecraft item right here, ruby_group, and this is going to be equal to registry. Once again, making sure we choose net Minecraft registry, extremely important. That register registries dot item group, comma, a new identifier. Passing in first of all tutorial mod.modid and then the name Ruby. We're going to format this a little bit differently. After the first closing parentheses, we're going to do a comma and then a new line, and then we're going to call the fabric item group, the first one right here from version 1, dot builder, and then we can call all sorts of method on here. The first method that we want to call is the display name, and that's going to get a text dot translatable. Instead of here, we're going to make a new string called item group dot ruby after the second closing parentheses. We want to make a new line, and we're going to call dot icon. We're going to make a supplier. Now a supplier is going to be an open and closing parentheses, and then a sort of an arrow over here with a minus and then a bigger than sign. Then a new item stack.
Oh, Lord.
And in here, we're going to put mod items.ruby. After the second closing parentheses, we're going to call the entries over here. I'm going to start typing display, and you can see
This sucks.
it basically suggests the entry collector to us. We're going to hit the tab key, and then we're going to make an open curly bracket, hit enter, and end this with a semicolon. And then here at the very end, not the last closing parentheses, but the one before that, you want to hit the dot build over here, and then no more errors should be present. Once again, if any part of this was a little bit confusing, the code is all available to you. We're going to go through each of these means. The display name, well, that's just going to be a translatable name that we've just added here that is going to be displayed when you hover over your custom item group, and we can immediately translate this. So just in the en_use.json file, we're going to add the key. This is the item group.ruby, and this is going to be the Ruby tutorial group. How about that?
Oh my goodness, stop.
Custom item group, and we can immediately translate this. So just in the en_use.json file, we're going to add the key. This is the item group.ruby. And this is going to be the Ruby tutorial group. How about that? Awesome. Now this is translated. The icon over here, that's just going to display the Ruby. And then between the curly brackets, this is where we're going to add all of our custom items. So we can say entries.add and then just say more items.ruby, and we can duplicate this, add the raw Ruby, and there we go. Now we've added the Ruby and the raw Ruby to our custom Ruby group. And the really cool thing about this is that you can add any type of items. You can even add vanilla items. To do that, we're going to say items dot, for example, diamond. And the order you add them in right here is also going to be the order that you're going to add them in the item. Pretty freaking cool. And with this, we also have a custom item group. So let's go into the game one more time and actually take a look.
Okay. Hit run now. We have just successfully, I think, made the mod items. This is sick, and I have a huge raging headache. Right, and now we have a mod group of items. Didn't think I'd be here now.
Alright friends, let's back in Minecraft and let's just take a look, and you can see we already have a page 2 over here, and that is exactly what we want to see. We have the Ruby tutorial group, we got the raw Ruby, we got the normal Ruby, and we got the diamond in here. Absolutely freaking fantastic, and that is a great start to this awesome tutorial series. Right, and that actually concludes this tutorial right here. Next time we're going to add a custom block to Minecraft, and that's going to be done in this video right here. Hope to see you there, and until next time. So,
okay, that was brain breaking. I mean, after this, we've got custom item, we've got custom blocks, we've got custom everything.
let's add custom blocks to Minecraft. Minecraft modding courses.
There we go. I want to see the list of this. What am I going to expect to do through this? Custom blocks, custom recipes, custom loot tables, advanced items, advanced blocks, food items, fuel items, custom tooltips, tags, fabric data generation, stairs, fences, doors, etc. Oh, a 2D texture with the 3D model. Oh. Custom tools, custom armor, full armor effect. Modifying vanilla loot tables. Add items to suspicious sand. A custom crop. A too high block crop. Flowers. Villager traits. Villager types. Custom sounds. Custom music discs. Updating to 1.20.2. What the heck?
Let's update from 120.1 to 120.2. Alright, we found us back in Intelligence more, and in this tutorial we're going to be updating our Fabric project over here from 120.1 over here, right, there you go, to 120.2. Now a very important thing is that two things are
Hello? Hello. So stream kind of got crashed for a second. I'm gonna check on my laptop and then I'm gonna come back for a minute. Let's hope everything works. Hello. Okay, so it does work. Yeah, I had to move something real quick and it kind of took off my power. So that's fun. Now I need to go back into everything. Not only that, but I also needed to go into Firefox and go back to this here. But it seems like everything's coming back from before. Everything's being nice, right? What we were doing, I guess. Custom mobs, attack animations, custom block entity. Custom recipe type, REI compatibility. I don't know what that means. A block entity renderer. Custom wood, custom signs, custom bows, throwable projectiles, or generation. Now I'm not gonna lie to you. Most of this I'm probably not gonna use. I could care less about half of that stuff, but if I learn through these first few mods, especially probably down to full armor effect or modifying loot tables, I feel like after modifying loot tables I might not have too much after that, but I think loot tables is 18, so I'm watching 18 videos on this, which is going to take a little bit of time, but it's going to get me familiar with Minecraft modding. Sorry for the noise, by the way. And it's going to get me familiar with everything else. I'm just going to have this screen open. It's a little bit new. I mean, really, it all kind of just depends on how we look at this, right? At least I have a whole winter break before going back into college classes again to figure out this, to hash it out. Make something work, make something happen, and to just decide my fate on this, because I also have to familiarize myself with a bunch of other diagnostic tools, and I got to do this all within a few months, or at least by the summer, right? Because if I want this project to make sense in my head and work, I want to get it running and get it open. I'm going to blow my nose real quick. Hold on. And honestly, just to get myself thinking for a little bit longer, I had ChatGPT, of course, give me the guide on everything. I had AI do that stuff, you know, from the first couple of streams and everything like that. But I want to reach further with this. I'm watching YouTube tutorials on this and figuring it out. And from the object-oriented programming side, I know how to do this stuff. It's frustrating sometimes, but I know how to do it. I've watched a lot of tutorials for Roblox, of course, and I got that that system that I have. What's it called? The targeting system from Roblox, but I was able to fully customize it and everything like that and make something with it. But now I have a system here that I'm able to make items with, and I'm going to explain it real quick as well. Starting with the tutorial mod. I'm gonna take a stab at it. It's not gonna be the best. All right, let's be for real. So we have raw Ruby JSON and Ruby JSON. It's this is what processes the 3D textures, is what I've been told. It's cold. Why did I turn my heater off? Oh yeah, my laptop, I forgot about that. I'm gonna need to keep that on through the night because it is extremely cold outside. This is what generates 3D textures. It's not really that crazy. It's just copying and pasting this Ruby, raw Ruby, stuff like that. With raw Ruby PNG, we have that. With Ruby PNG, we have this, which is kind of cool. A test mod. This is nice, I guess. This is nice. We have the tutorial mod here where we have the mod items and mod item groups. On initializing the mod itself, we register the item groups and register the mod items. When we go into mod item groups, we have the item group being here. Or we have the item group happening here. And we've got this item group Ruby. It's nice. And then we have entries in this stack where we have the Ruby itself, the raw Ruby and the diamond. I don't know what this stuff is here for. Item stack, entries, display content, context entries. This is all YouTube tutorial stuff, but I know this part. If that makes any sense. Mod items, on the other hand, we have entries add Ruby and raw Ruby where we have the items itself exist in the creative world aspect. And then through there, of course, we log the items. We have register item, we register the item in Minecraft. And then from there, I mean, it's there. We also have the language model itself where we have each of these names in English, United States, and we have the stuff translated, that's in our mod, of course. So yeah, that's pretty much the overview of everything we did in a minute or two in the 13-minute video. Just trying to walk myself through this process and understand what it means, and at least partially is better than not doing it at all. Like letting it actually ruminate in my head a little bit and working around it makes a lot more sense. And I can always watch back the video to relearn everything that happened and have it there with my mod. But the last thing that is last is committing and pushing. So we're going to change 9 files, right? We're going to commit, and then we're going to make the push. Or we use the master, which master push, same thing. We push the different changes and we did it. We're good. We push 1 commit. Yeah. All right. So that's it. Honestly, there's nothing else to really talk about. I'm just getting straight into the modding process. And this is one fragment. This is the Fabric Mod API. It's a small fragment in the big world of modding. Especially for this, I need to get myself a lot of experience and a lot of different tools. This isn't Cardinal components or anything of the sort, but this is the real Java experience. This is what actually makes a mod. And this is from complete scratch. All right, this is scratch. There's no purpose that this Ruby mod has or that the Rubies have in this mod yet, but you can make different functionalities through vanilla Minecraft with this right here, with this system that we have in place. And then through that, we can make a whole bunch of other things, a variety of different functionalities and stuff like that, something that's cool. But in this case right now, there's nothing, right? And honestly, through that, I think we've done it. I think we've actually done it. I'm doing the hard work right now. I could totally just skip straight into Cardinal components or a whole bunch of other variety of things. Right now, I'm following YouTube tutorials to code in Java because I hate myself or something. We're going to change the OBS screen so that I can feel like talking about everything and concluding it and have the button right there in front of me. Any other closing thoughts is that this is one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind, right? Like I'm doing this base project and I made this extremely crucial step, and it's by starting today. If I slept on it and then I dreamed about it, but I didn't even go out and do it, this is better. This is me actually going out and doing something with it. It's not a lot. It's not a huge step, but it's much bigger than many people have taken. I'm not going to be comparing myself to other people though. Excuse me, by the way. Ugh. Sorry about that. I am loss of breath right now. I'm at a loss of words. I've done so much. I've done very little, of course, compared to any other Minecraft modders or whatever, but I'm not a sweat. All right, there's too many sweats in this game. But honestly, like this is getting me one step closer to even figuring out how to make this reaching for the stars mod possible, to connect the dots together. Because hey, there are going to be different types of items. I literally just learned how to create an item. Boom, it's relevant. It is relevant. If I make a dimension with a different item in it, a different texture, then what? Or I can rip texture straight off the internet from other mods and be like, huh, mine now. And then that. And these other guys know how to do what I'm doing right now. Don't get me wrong. I'm not providing anything new to the table yet. I'm just catching up. I mean, they made Janice out of a few blocks, a few items, you know, and they made those 3D items as well out of nowhere to be filled up and filled by the spaceship. I mean, they're modders after all. I'm sure it took them a few days, but I bet that was one of the easy parts of this mod pack in the first place. He said he collected in 12 to 14 hour days. I mean, geez, man. And he was crunching. This took about 8 weeks of full time dedication. It's going to take me about that much time to learn everything in the first place. To do it again and through that much more time, it's a lot of dedication. But I'm fascinated by what Minecraft had to bring in that case, and I want to remake it. I either want to remake it or want to be part of expanding it. This has so much more potential. I want to bring that. And I have game design experience. I have a whole plethora of different expertise under my belt. I can do it. All right. I have plenty of time, and I haven't had a project to work on in a long time. This one actually seems like it's worth finishing to me. All the other ones, I've dreamed about it, but I've never actually solidified anything in time. And I felt, okay, well, I have so much that I still need to do that I don't know how to do. I don't know. And this one is going to be the same way, but I have a general outline of what I can do. And I can bring a lot of the stuff that I've worked so tirelessly on for other projects, and I can bring those ideas into this project. It's going to make everything that I've done justified, I think. I say that for every project and I never finish it anyway, but I've got streams, I've got a project planner, I've got everything. I'm going full force on this one. That doesn't mean that it's going to be 100%. It's not going to be definite. I know y'all are like, okay, stop yapping, bro. But I need to put this out there real quick before I go to bed. It's time to say that this will have a lot of rough patches and rough moments. I mean, today was a rough moment, but I've been motivated. What if there's a rough moment even worse than today and I'm completely unmotivated? Will I just quit on this project? Or if I take a break, will I ever come back? These are all questions I need to ask myself. What does it mean? It's crazy, huh? It's really crazy. You know, at the end of the day, this is what it is. I'm happy to say that I'm going to try my best. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I'm going to try my best. And we're just going to see what happens from here. I'm not going to have the craziest, most beefiest computer ever, but I'm going to have something. This guy with 1 million subscribers is going to come around and figure it all out. But hey, I'm 1 in a million, baby. Let's see what we can do. And if we can't reach that point where we can at least be a part of the project, I can reach a point where I can at least make something for myself. And worst case scenario is what I wanted anyway. It was the basics of what I wanted. And it was my own thing. But it's fascinating. It is crazy. And being able to provide a project and product like this will be amazing. I am learning Minecraft modding from scratch. And this is the 3rd live stream that I've had. I've spent a little bit of time on this right now. And I mean, I'm coming back from Skyblock. Like, I'm not doing that Skyblock project at this point. Like, forget about it. But this is 10 times the amount of fun. I did Skyblock because I had a certification, but now that certification is done, what do I do now? I'm not going to edit a video and go through 40 hours of editing just to make a stupid video. I'm going to go ahead and make something even bigger. That is this. Thank you guys so much for everything. Thank you for watching the stream. And I hope y'all enjoy the progress so far. If you've watched everything to this point, why? Right? Unless you're me, why? If you've watched every single one of the projects that I sent out on my company thing, everything like that, why are you here? All right, why are you here? Why are you doing this? I don't understand. So thank you, I guess. This is, everything is desolate. The chat is empty, everything like that. This is more or less for me to look back on for editing or for anything. I don't know. But what I do know is that it's here, right? I just don't understand. But I mean, yeah, thank you guys so much for whatever. Immediately getting to work. This is gonna be like a 30-second segment in the real editing process. Like, this is me starting. This is nothing. But hey, we're getting it to work, and it's gonna be fun. These next few parts are gonna be pretty boring. Honestly, going through this whole process and everything like that is gonna be boring. So yeah,